everyone, welcome to Travel Services with Masego. My name is Masego, and in this session we are gonna go through a car hire activity. This is for travel services in 6. If you have not watched the previous introduction to the various terms that we use in car hire, please go to the video. I will link it down below. Otherwise, please note that the content that is covered within this session is based on the TVET syllabus for students studying towards a national certificate in tourism. All the slides, past papers, and textbooks are available on futuremanagers.com, which I will link in the description box below. So today we're going to get started with car hire. Car hire is very simple once you understand how to use the various elements that are in the instruction and how to use your handout as well. So it's very important that you go through the introduction as I've mentioned before. So in this scenario, it says your client Thomas Gumede has requested car rental with Pace Car Rental in Johannesburg. He will collect the car from the airport in Johannesburg, and then on the 5th of September at 10, he will drop off the car at the same location, which is the airport, on the 19th of September at 2. It says he will collect the car at the airport in Johannesburg on the 5th of September at 10 and will drop off the car at the same location on the 19th of September at 2. Now, this little section here tells us two things. The pickup and drop off spot are the same, and the client is not requesting any additional services like for us to pick up the car from the airport, from the hotel, or for us to deliver the car to the hotel. So this means we will not be charging your delivery or collection charges. And then it also tells us the rental period that the client is asking to rent the car from, which is 5 September at 10 until 19 September at 2. Now, we have to now take into consideration the number of days that comes in between that, and then add one extra day, because we are calculating these number of days using the 24-hour rental period. This person started the rental period at 10 a.m. and finished it off at 2. In other cases, you might have the opportunity to apply the grace period clause, where you find that if the person is able to bring back the car within an hour, so between 10 and 11, we won't charge them for an additional day. But in this case, this person went way beyond the grace period, which means we will charge them an extra day. So this is something that you need to note down in your notes. Unfortunately, I can't note it down now, but please do note it down. So you will calculate from 5 to 19 September. It will give you X amount of days, and then from there, you will then add an extra day for an extra 24 hours because they dropped off the car at 2. It then says he has requested a Ford EcoSport with the cheapest insurance. So there are two types of insurances that we can choose from. You have Super Drive and Standard Drive. So the Super Drive covers the client against more risk with a cheaper access, and then the Standard Drive will cover less risk and a higher access. So in this case, the client has asked for the cheapest possible insurance, which will then be our Standard Drive, because Standard Drive in this moment is cheaper. The premium is cheaper, but the access is higher. And then with Super Drive, the premium is higher and the access is lower. So we are going to go with the Ford EcoSport with the standard insurance. He will drive approximately 4,000 kilometers during this rental and has requested an additional driver to be added into the rental. So we are taking into consideration that he will drive 4,000 kilometers. So we'll have to calculate how much we're going to be charging for that 4,000 kilometers. And then we'll also have to add an additional driver, and of course at an added cost. The last thing in this little section is the note that he will be paying with his American Express credit card, the card number, and the expiry date. The next thing that we're taking a look at now is the handouts. As I had said before, there is another video that explains this in detail, how to use the handout. So for now, we are simply going to look on the handout for the Ford EcoSport, and it's right there in this section, Ford EcoSport. You have the daily rate at 445, the 7-day plus at 370, 8,099 for the monthly rental, and then for each extra kilometer that will be charged, that we need to charge, or that the person will drive over and above the 3 kilometers they will be getting from the car rental, they will pay 5.55 rand, and then they also have an excess of 10,000 rand should anything happen to the car. This is under the standard insurance. For space constraints, I did not include the super insurance template, but the super insurance will be a little bit different in terms of the amount they pay on daily or weekly or monthly rate, and the excess will also be different. If you take a look at the top of the page under the daily rate, it says the daily rate includes 200 kilometers per day. The 7-day rate includes 200 kilometers per day. The monthly rate includes 100 kilometers per day. So that means that the amount of money that the client is going to be paying will be inclusive of this 200 kilometers per day. So we might not have to charge the client if they drive within the perimeters of that amount of kilometers that they are getting free daily for the amount of days that they're going to be driving. We also need to read the terms and conditions. You need to read the terms and conditions for each of the car hire activities you're going to do. You must read the terms and conditions so that you can see what does the client get with their rate and what don't they get, and how much might it cost if a service is not already charged within the amount they are paying. So here it says included in the rate is 200 kilometers free per day. Monthly rental rate has 3,000 kilometers per month. They included collision damage waiver, theft loss waiver, 15% VAT, airport surcharge, and tourism levy. What is excluded is the delivery and collection fee. Already when we read our scenario, we saw that we are not going to be charging delivery or collection fee. Personal accidental insurance is not included, but they did not give us how much to charge for it. All excesses as above. So all the excesses that were included in or that were shown in the table before are not included. So you will have to pay 10,000 rand should something happen. An additional driver is charged at 225 per additional driver. If you want to rent a GPS, which our client doesn't want, it goes for 80 rand per day and 320 per month. Optional equipment such as baby seats will go for 300 rand. Obviously, it will vary according to the type of equipment that you want. You will then have to pay a contract fee of 70 rand per rental agreement, and then the cross-border surcharge as well once off for cases where you are going to cross the border. But in this case, our scenario says nothing about crossing the border. So the only thing that we're going to be charging is the personal accidental fee and the additional driver fee. So now we go into the actual car hire table, where now you have your various topics, the first one being time, the second one being mileage, which are the things that we are basically going to base our calculation on. So here we chose the rate for 7 days. So the client is going to be booking the car for a total of 15 days, including that additional day because they delivered the car later than 10 o'clock. So it's 15 days in total, and we are going to be charging them using the 7-day plus rate that comes with 200 kilometers free per day. So we have here 370 rand times 15 days, it gave us 5,500 rand. Then from there, we calculated 200 kilometers times 15 days is 3,000 kilometers. So the client will be getting 3,000 kilometers for free and will be driving 4,000 kilometers according to the instruction. So 4,000 kilometers minus 3,000 kilometers, we have an excess of 1,000 kilometers that we will have to charge. Now, each kilometer is charged at 5 Rand 50 per kilometer. So 1,000 kilometers times 5 Rand 50 equals to 5,500 Rand as well. And then we add up these two amounts, which is the base of our calculation, and we write them under subtotal, sitting at 11,100. Already when we went through the terms and conditions, we saw that the tourism levy, the airport levy, the collision damage waiver, the theft loss waiver are included. Our next section is to charge personal accidental insurance. In this case, they did not give us how much personal accidental insurance is, but they did say it is excluded. So we have to write in this section that personal accidental insurance is excluded and we didn't charge it, so it's nil. The next is the contract fee. The contract fee is charged at 70 Rand per rental agreement. We charged that. And then next we have the other charges. Your other charges include the additional driver, who is charged at 225 Rand per rental period. So then from there, we simply add up the subtotal and all the other charges that go underneath the subtotal to get how much we are going to be charging the client, which is 11,395. Once this is done, you will then have to go in and write a voucher for your client. For space constraints, the voucher doesn't really show properly within the borders, but no vital information is cut out. The first thing that we look at with the voucher, you have the renter's name, Kumete T. Mr. The car group is also included, so you have to go into your handout and look at the car group that the Ford falls under. Then the date of issue, you will write the date that you are writing this activity on. So if the date is 7 September 2022, when you are writing your test exam or whatever, you are going to write that date here. Then here it says the issuer stamp. You obviously do not have a stamp, so you will write your initials. On this section, it says the issuer's name. The issuer is the person that is writing the voucher, so you will then write your own name in this section. Time is the time that the person is coming to collect the car. It is 10 o'clock. The date of rental is starting 5 September. And where did the rental start? The renting office is the Johannesburg Airport. So you write JNB APT for airport. The return office is still the same. In cases where the drop-off point is different, you will obviously write the name of the hotel or whatever the case may be in this section. Then here it says the value of the voucher. We simply have to write the card details, the payment details in this box here, and then the remarks will then be any other service that the client had requested. In this case, the client requested an additional driver. In this last box here underneath, you have the reservation ID number, which will also be given to you. In this case, it is PACE 0312, and that will then be the end of your car hire calculation activity. I hope this has been informative for you. I hope this has been helpful to you. If so, please remember to like the video, share with your fellow tourism student, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next session.